During my teens, I had many questions. I'd been born into a family that was nominally Church of England, which didn't satisfy my questioning, and felt I wanted to understand life. I was born in 1956. I grew up in southeast England, went to London University and did a degree at Bedford College in psychology and physiology. One of the reasons I wanted to study psychology was to figure out how this mind works, and particularly how to find happiness, and the sense that freedom was possible, happiness was possible, and also that the mind is crucial in that. And so then, having finished my degree and not found happiness or much freedom, during that time I realized, well, academia and academic psychology as a discipline in the West doesn't seem to be carrying many answers. But along the way I had come across various spiritual traditions. I had had a little bit of introduction to Buddhism. I was taken along to a weekend of teachings by His Holiness Dudjom Rinpoche in 1976 in London. But it went completely over my head at the time. It had these various teachings that he gave, and these initiations, and this of this sort of terama from Padmasambhava, from Guru Rinpoche, none of which meant anything to me at the time. And then after the end of that session, I never even looked at a Buddhist book. It's had no impact, apparently, at the time. And then also along the way, I'd met a teacher out of the Rudolf Steiner tradition, a man called Trevor Ravenscroft, who used to give lectures in London. And so I wasn't particularly drawn to Steiner's style of spiritual practice or approach, but there was a few things in the talks that that Trevor Ravenscroft gave, and the kind of insightful advice that he gave that was very impactful. One was that he felt that it was unlikely I would find any satisfaction in life outside of spiritual development, which was quite a relief, since all sort of worldly goals and ambitions were looking very unappealing to me. And so then when I finished my degree, then what I decided to do was to go to Southeast Asia and to see if I could find some kind of spiritual practice. And as I said, I had no connection with Buddhism at all. I'd read a variety of spiritual teachings, from Idris Shah, from the Sufi tradition, or from Chuang Tzu, various Indian teachers, Sri Ramakrishna and so forth. But I didn't have any specific spiritual direction. I had a free ticket to Malaysia, which was fortunate. So I was in Southeast Asia and just was wandering to see where my feet took me, and they took me to this forest monastery in northeast Thailand. So when I went to stay there, I had no particular connection to Buddhism. I had never heard of the teacher there before the day prior to my arrival, and so I had pretty much a blank slate. And then coming into the monastery, the International Forest Monastery, that blank slate was quite beneficial, because I had no preconceptions, no plan, no fixed idea about what Buddhism should or shouldn't be, or what different teachers were like. So meeting the life of the forest monastery, where it was extremely simple, there were people from the same kind of background as myself, mostly Western middle-class educated people who were keen to do something radical about their minds. And so it was very rigorous, very focused on meditation practice, very much on the mind, but not theoretical, very much a practical mind training place. And so within a day or two, I realized, well, this is exactly the kind of thing I'm looking for. I didn't think it was going to be Buddhism, but, well, okay, Buddhism looks like it's a good way forward. So that's how I got into this, and that was January 1978. So here we are.